This is an exploration of the menu system using MT50 Cam. There's not much in the menu system which is all that exciting. On the front you've got monitoring number 1. This is it here. As you can see, I've got 30 volt input, which means I'm working on a 24 volt panel system. It's coming in at 10.6 amps and going out at 23, and the battery is currently nearly charged. There's not much you can really gain from that except a running status, which is fairly accurate. I've tested it. This one is reading under by about 0.2 in general. This is the load indicator here. Typically that goes on when there's a bit of excess power coming, but I can push the load button on the regulator, and there you can at least see what it looks like when it goes on. Now, in with the rest of the menu system, we got device info. Test operation is just testing the load, unfortunately, nothing more fancy than that. Control parameters is where most of the action happens. This is where you select the battery type. Oops, you have to enter a password, which is 0. Gel, I've got mine currently set with a battery capacity of 600 amp hours, and I've no idea what effect that has. I think you can charge by voltage or by state of charge in another menu. So there's gel, sealed, which is 14.4, user, which can go from 9 through 17, and you can alter all of the parameters, which I'll show you next. Flooded, probably 14.6, and back to gel again. There's the battery capacity there. When you enter anything, it says save. Save success. Next page, temperature compensation. You can change that on even the preset setting of gel, and the battery voltage can be changed. I'm just going to leave it on auto. Over voltage disconnect, and the absolute charge limit, I think that may come into play because the regulator sometimes surges when it's trying to figure out what it's doing. Maybe I'll limit the surge. Over voltage, and the equal charge, they spell equalization right most of the time, but not there. Boost charge, that's the important one. You can't modify it on, oops, I saved something else apparently. You can't modify it on this page, but you can modify it on the user page, and there's float 13.8, which is a bit higher float than most floats, but given the way these smaller regulators work with no intelligence understanding what your state of charge actually is, 13.8 is a fairly good place to charge to. Boost and reconnect, or different abbreviation styles, rec and rect. Under voltage warnings, this MT50 makes beeping noises when you set it up right. Low voltage disconnect, equalization time, and you can affect the boost time on this page. It has a maximum value of 180. So if I set it to 190, it's back at 180 again. And back on the front page. Sealed user. Save it. Going back to 200 amp hours again. Forget about that. So, what can we change that's useful on over voltage boost charge? There, see? Change the boost charge up to 14. 14.9, but I don't think it'll let me save it in if the equalization is 14.6. It says parameter error, so I've got to go backwards. Oops. Equalization 14.6, so I'd have to change that to 15. I don't know. Equalization, save that, and go on to the next page. Boost charge 14.9, and the float charge of say 14.8. Let me save that all. Right, go out into the monitor again. It's still lagging around at 14 volts. Another interesting thing you can change is in meter parameters, and this is useful for a reviewer. On the second page you actually get to change the backlight. Oops, I don't know what that is, SW pages. You can actually change the backlight to something other than 20 seconds, and I've got it set to 5 minutes. And I've got the audio alarms on, and I've no idea what happens when they're off. The failure info, I haven't got any failures yet, so factory reset, charge mode, here we go, voltage compensation or SOC, state of charge, I don't know, device password, oops, device parameters. There's another backlight setting in there, but I think it's for the actual regulator, and this model doesn't have a backlight on it. Anyway, this is 8 minutes of boredom so far. Hope you're enjoying this. That's it.